Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Daf, Daf 18 Amud B from the Teruma Daf, using a Steinsaltz edition publication. So let's dive straight in. Tani Mabachia Lissa Use Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi Im HaKesev Humakriv Valad Rishon Kalev Valad Shnei Eina Kalev. Rabbi Chia teaches a bright in support of the opinion of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi that all agree that the offspring of a peace offering is not sacrificed. The verse states, if he sacrifices a lamb for his offering, then he shall present it before the Lord. Leviticus 3:7. Two limitations are derived from this verse. The word lamb indicates the first offspring, i.e. the offspring of the peace offering is sacrificed. But the second offspring, i.e. the offspring of the offering, is not sacrificed. In addition, the word he who, interpreted as referring to the offspring as a peace offering rather than the owner, as is obvious from the context that the owner is sacrificing the animal, and the word would be necessary if written only for that purpose. Therefore, it teaches that the offspring of a peace offering is sacrificed, but the offering of all other sacrificial animals is not sacrificed. This indicates that even those sages who rule that the offspring of a peace offering is sacrificed agree that the offspring of the offspring is not sacrificed. The Gemara clarifies the second limitation, that the offspring of the only sacrificial animals are not sacrificed. Offspring of which type of offering is referred to here? It's referring to that of a burnt offering or a guilt offering. They are male and therefore not capable of giving birth to offspring. And if it is referring to the offspring of a sin offering, the verse is unnecessary. It learns like a tradition that is left to die may not be offered. Ravina said this verse serves to include in the limitation that the offspring of other sacrificial animals are not sacrificed. The offspring of an animal that was consecrated as animal tithe and then gave birth. The Gemara asks, why do I need a verse to include the offspring of the animal tithe? We derived through a verbal analogy between the word passing, avara, mentioned with regard to animal tithe, and the word passing, avara, mentioned with regard to the firstborn animal, which is male and cannot give birth to offspring. With regard to animal tithe, the verse states, and all the tithe of the herd or the flock, whatsoever passes, ya'avor, under the rod, the 10 should be holy to the Lord, Leviticus 27:32. With regard to firstborn, the verse states, and you shall set apart v'ha'avarta for the Lord all that opens the womb, every firstborn that is male, which you have that comes of an animal shall be the Lord. Exodus 13:12. The Gemara answers, this verse is necessary as it might enter your mind to say that one does not derive the possible from the impossible. What does that mean? In done in Efsha, Misha E Efsha. This issue is discussed in several places in the Talmud. With regard to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva that one does not derive the possible from the impossible, the Amoraim disagree whether or not he extends this principle even to a derivation through a juxtaposition. According to Rav Papa, one does derive the possible from the impossible in such a case, and the verse itself juxtaposes them. Seen in the 37b, this opinion is also stated in Jerusalem Talmud 2:1. These sources support the ruling of the Rambam. In some instances, one does derive the possible from the impossible. See the Racham 98a, Karen over there. As in this case, when one seeks to derive by way of analogy the halacha of the offspring of animal tithe from that of a firstborn, which is a male, and therefore cannot give birth. Therefore, the verse teaches that the offspring of the animal tithe is not sacrificed in the altar as an offering. The Mishnah teaches Rabbi Pathias testified about the offspring of a peace offering that is sacrificed as a peace offering. Rabbi Pathias added the testimony that he had a cow that was eaten as a peace offering on Passover, and his offspring was eaten as a peace offering on a different festival, a Bahag. The term Hag generally refers to Sukkot, Chag. The Gemara asks, and according to the opinion of Rava, who said with regard to sacrificial animals that once one pilgrimage festival has passed, the positive mitzvah to bring both one's obligation of a vow offering and a gift offering to the temple on the first festival following the vow, as is stated, and they shall come and they shall bring Deuteronomy 12:5-6. It teaches that when a person comes for the festival, he should bring all offerings in which he is obligated, If the festival passed, he did not bring the offering, he had nullified a positive mitzvah. If all three festivals passed, and he still did not bring it, via the prohibition, as is stated, you shall not delay to fulfill it. This ruling is according to the opinion of Rava, following text of Gemara in Tractate Rosh Hashanah, Rambam Sefer Avodah Hilchad Maaseh Kabbalah 14:13. With regard to them, the prohibition of you shall not delay, which is derived from the verse that states, when you shall vow a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not delay to pay. Deuteronomy 23:22. Already from Shavuot, he must eat the offering of the peace offering. Your father sacrificed on Passover. Why did they wait? Why then did they wait until Sukkot? Rav Zevid said in the name of Rava, referring to a case where the owner was unable to sacrifice the offering on the peace offering on Shavuot due to circumstances beyond his control. For example, if the animal was ill on Shavuot, bad Zeret. The majority of the early commentaries explain that the offspring was ill. See text for the Rosh Hashanah 6b. And the later commentaries add that even an animal with a temporary illness is not sacrificed. By contrast, Rabbeinu Hananiel explained that the owner of the offering became ill. Rav Ashi said in an alternative explanation, what is the meaning of the word Chag that is taught in the Mishnah in the testimony of Rabbi Papias? It's referring to the festival of Shavuot, not Sukkot. The Gemara asks, and the other Amora, Rav Zevid, why didn't he explain the Mishnah in this manner? And the Gemara answers, whether the Tana teaches the word Pesach in the Mishnah, and he wishes also to teach something about Shavuot, he uses the term Atzeret rather than the word Chag. The later commentaries note that the Hebrew term Atzeret is given to Shavuot by the sages, whereas the Torah refers to it as the festival of Shavuot or the day of the first fruit. Therefore, Rav Zevid understood that whenever the Tana uses the term Pesach, which is the rabbinic term for Passover, he uses the parallel term Atzeret as well. By contrast, if the Tana uses the Torah's name for Passover, the holiday of Matzot, he refers to Shavuot as the festival Chag, which is similar to the biblical name, the festival of Shavuot, and from the Chazon Ezekiel. The Gemara asks, if so, that the offspring of the peace offering was not sacrificed in Shavuot due to illness, as suggested by Rava, or that it was indeed sacrificed in Shavuot as proposed by Rav Ashi, what is the purpose of the testimony of Rav Papias? He certainly cannot be excluding the opinion shared by Rava, as might have been indicated by a straightforward reading of the Mishnah. The Gemara answers, his testimony serves to exclude the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, who said that the offspring of a peace offering is not sacrificed as a peace offering. Rabbi Papias therefore testifies that the offspring of a peace offering is sacrificed as a peace offering, and that this was the actual practice in the temple. The offspring of a thanks offering and its substitute, the offspring of a thanks offering and the offspring of its substitute are sacrificed as thanks offerings. One is not required to bring the loaves with them, as loaves are brought only with the thanks offering itself. The sages derived this halacha from the verse with sacrifice of thanksgiving, Leviticus 7:12, which teaches that the loaves are not brought with its offspring or its substitute. Although this offering of the thanks offering may be sacrificed, the offspring of the offspring may not be sacrificed due to a rabbinic decree. This ruling is not in accordance with the Tana of the Mishnah. And that's the Rambam Sefer Kabbalah Hilchot Teruma 4:1 of a thanks offering, and the offspring of the offspring and its substitute, and the offspring of their offspring until the end of all time. They are all like thanks offerings, with the only difference being that they do not require the accompanying loaves, unlike the thanks offering itself. Gemara asks, from where is this matter derived, that the offspring and substitute of the thanks offering do not require the accompanying loaves? The Gemara answers, as the sage taught in a Braita with regard to the verse, and if he offers it for thanksgiving, then he shall offer with his sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil. Leviticus 7:2. What does the term offer it? Yekvivenu serve to say. The Braita explains, the term is referring to one who designates a thanks offering and it was lost, and he separated another in its place, and then the first animal was found, and now both of them stand before him available for sacrifice. Where is it derived that he may sacrifice whichever one he wants and bring his accompanying loaves with it? The verse states he offers a thanks offering, indicating that he may offer either one. One might have thought that even the second should require the accompanying loaves. Therefore, the verse states, offer it, to teach that only one of them is brought with the loaves, and not two. From where is it derived that the offspring substitutes and replacement offerings, in the case where the animal was lost, another was separated in its place, and then the original animal was found, are included and may be sacrificed as well. The verse states, and if at thanksgiving, teaching that they may all be sacrificed as thanks offerings. One might have thought that all of them required loaves. Therefore, the verse states, with the sacrifice of thanksgiving, which indicates that only the thanks offering itself requires loaves, but its offspring and its substitute and its replacement do not require loaves. With regard to the substitute of a burnt offering, the substitute of a burnt offering is sacrificed as a burnt offering if it is a male. If it is a female, it is left to grade until it becomes fit, after which it is sold, and one brings a burnt offering with the money in accordance with the mission of Sefer Kabbalah, Hilchot Teruma 3:1, and the offering of a substitute. The offering of a substitute of a burnt offering, the offering of an offspring, and all subsequent offspring of offspring, all in the state of a burnt offering, and their sacrifice is such in accordance with the mission of Sefer Kabbalah, Hilchot Teruma 4:1. E.g., if one substitutes a female animal for a burnt offering, and it gave birth to a male, and the offspring of its offspring until the end of all time, they are all like burnt offerings, and therefore they require flaying and cutting in the piece, and must be burnt completely in the fire. In the case of one who designates a female offering as a burnt offering, if one designates a female animal as a burnt offering and subsequently gave birth, even if the offspring is male, it is sent to graze until it becomes unfit, after which it is sold and a burnt offering is bought with the money from the sale. In accordance with the opinion of the first 10 of Sefer Kabbalah, Hilchot Teruma 4:5, Sefer Vod, Hilchot Pesulei HaMakdushin 4:17, which may be bought only from males, and that female gave birth to a male. Although it is a male, it is left to graze until it becomes unfit. She is tayev, and the Aramaic sayev, which means to be impure, and which is used in this manner in the Targum on the Bible, and then it is sold, and he brings a burnt offering with the money received for it. Say Rabbi Elazar, although in the printed text of the Mishnah and the subsequent Gemara, the author of his opinion is Rabbi Elazar, the textual and historical readers in many commentaries that amend the text to read Rabbi Elazar. She's Mechabesed Tiferet Yisrael Tosfos Yom Tov. But the Hebrew text and the translation have therefore been modified accordingly. It says the male offspring itself is sacrificed as a burnt offering. The first clause of the Mishnah states that the offspring of a female substitute for a burnt offering is brought as a burnt offering. Whereas in the latter clause, the rabbis and Rabbi Elazar disagree about the state of a female animal that was consecrated as a burnt offering. The Gemara therefore asks, what is different in the first clause that they do not disagree? And what is different in the latter clause that they disagree? Rabbi Hana says, even the first clause is taught as a matter in dispute between the rabbis and Rabbi Elazar, and the ruling there, according to the opinion of Rabbi Elazar. And Rabbi said, you may even say that the first clause is according to the opinion of the rabbis, but they disagree with Rabbi Elazar only with regard to one who designates a female animal for a burnt offering, as they maintain that the offspring may not be sacrificed because his mother may not be sacrificed. But with regard to the offspring of a substitute, since his mother had the original burnt offering that is the source of the mother's sanctity as a substitute, may also be sacrificed. Even the rabbis concede that the offspring may be sacrificed. And the Gemara asks, and did Rabbi Elazar say that the offspring of a female designated as a burnt offering itself is sacrificed as a burnt offering? One may raise a contradiction from the Mishnah in 20b, the substitute of a guilt offering, the substitute of that substitute. The offspring of a substitute of a guilt offering, the offspring of the offspring, and all subsequent offspring of an offspring are sent to grade until they become unfit, after which a soul the money is allocated for the purchase of voluntary communal gift offerings, in accordance with the opinion of the first Tana in the Mission 20b, Rambam Sefer Kabbalah Hilchot Teruma 4:4. And the offspring and the offspring of the offspring until the end of all time, all graze until they become unfit, and then each animal is sold, and the money received for the sale is allocated for communal gift offerings. Rabbi Eliezer says, these animals are not left to graze until they become unfit, and each animal is sold, Rather, they are left to die. Rabbi Elazar says communal gift offerings are not purchased with the money from the sale. Rather, the owner should bring an individual burnt offering with the money received for its sale. The Gemara infers from Rabbi Elazar's statement that with the money received for its sale, yes, one brings an individual burnt offering, but the offspring of the substitute itself, no, one may not bring it as a burnt offering. Rav Hista says, Rabbi Elazar was speaking to them in accordance with the statement of the rabbis as follows: according to me, I hold that even the offspring itself is also sacrificed as a burnt offering. But according to you, who say that the animal is left to grain to become blemished and then is sold and the money used to purchase burnt offering, concede to me at least that the remainder of the money goes for the purchase of individual gift offerings rather than communal offerings. The rabbi said to him in response that the remainder of the money goes for communal gift offerings. Rabbi said in another explanation, Rabbi Elazar says that the offspring itself is offered as a burnt offering only in a case where he designated a female animal as a burnt offering and it gave birth, since there is a burnt offering status for a bird that is the same sex as its mother. Rashi, who explains that this is because a female may be used as a bird offering. Others add that if one declares his intention to bring a voluntary offering by saying it is incumbent upon me to bring a burnt offering, he may bring a burnt offering in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Therefore, if a person designates a female animal, this is not a bird. That is not a bird as a burnt offering, it may not be sacrificed, but the sanctity of a burnt offering does take effect upon the animal. It has inherent sanctity, as does its offspring, which may indeed be sacrificed upon the altar. And that's the end of the Omid, that's the end of Daf 18. I wish you a very good day and peace in Israel. All the best. Bye.